Okay, I will tell you that this was not here before. Not entirely sure what happened, but yeah. Oh, his hood is also open. This is where I need that 6-ton jack stand from Harbor Freight, because this doesn't reach. I already kind of got into the passenger side, and this was kind of a fight, because this thing has a lift kit, so the suspension was super compressed. But we have the spindle taken off here, and we're going to be changing out the ball joint because he thinks this is why his car sways a lot, and he doesn't feel safe with the fact that this doesn't have a circlip in it. And it is all the way down. I don't know if this is aftermarket or what. It's not really like torn up or anything, but he wants me to change this while we swap the axles. So he have axles for left and right, ball joint for left and right. And when I took this side off, look at the freaking boot. The boot is just sitting on the subframe, and the axle itself, yeah, that's a tripod bearing. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and knock out the passenger side entirely before I hit the driver's side. So my brother said behind the hood he bought the ball joint tool, which I've never used before, and he was like, well, this is something nice to have to do it correctly. And it's heavy as hell. Oh, holy crap. This thing is... Okay. Very heavy. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's all in here and get going with that ball joint. And you guys already know, cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. It's a joke, guys. Like, I show you guys I cut towards myself, which... again, it's just a joke, but I emphasize it. Cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. Orion Motor Tech. Holy cow. Yeah. Holy cow, which way did it open? Okay. 12-piece ball joint removal tool set. Holy cow. We use a similar kit like this at Matt's house to change out the ball joint on the EF sedan, and well, I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to use this. So Eric the car guy, he used the same kit, similar kit to what we're gonna be using, and he said, you know, based off the kit, there weren't too much options for the Honda, so you're using the installation cup here for pressing out, because it is the only sizes in the box that fits over the ball joint. So that goes on there. Okay, let's try that. I can already see the ball joint like turning. Okay, well that was a lot easier than I thought. Okay. Simple enough. Ball joint out. Ball joint, oh, it does make a lot of noise. I can feel it clacking. Like, I can feel it clacking in my finger when I'm just doing this. Like, I can feel that ball joint just moving around inside. This thing is probably stressed out of his life for how much lift the CRV has, but oh yeah, look, it even has up and down movement. Okay, so new ball joint, import direct for CRV BJ06026, and process is about the same. So let me figure out a spacer setup and we'll show you guys. Again, not much options, but we have a little spacer on top that fits barely on the top of the ball joint, and then we have that same spacer we use on the opposite end to allow us to push the ball joint through without destroying it. When that tone changes, we are bottomed out. So I'm very curious right now because this ball joint was identical to this one, right? So it has been changed out before. And the circlip groove right here, it's not sticking out of the spindle, so I can't put a circlip on it. And I don't know what to do. Do I find a different one? You can't buy them OEM from Honda because you have to buy the whole entire spindle to get a replacement OE ball joint, which sucks. And I don't know what other company to buy that allowed the circlip groove to come all the way out. Let me talk to my brother. All right, guys, so I went inside and did some research. I searched on Google and on Facebook, since Facebook is kind of like the new forums with all the groups and stuff, and I typed in CRV ball joint replacement, and going through all of the posts that was on Facebook, I came across one that was for 0206 CRV, and they were using the Moog MOOG ball joints, and the ball joints from that company actually presses all the way through and allows you to put the clip on. So if my brother was to order that, it'll show up in 2 days, and I don't know, I kind of need my driveway, but we're already here and we're already taking it apart and we're gonna finish the job. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and clean everything up, but I'm also gonna take off the driver's side spindle and get it ready. So I guess we'll just pick back up with you guys when we have the right part. See you guys then. We are finally picking back up with my brother's Honda CRV. We left off where I needed to press in the new ball joints into his spindle, except the new ball joint replacement that he bought is actually the same as the one that came off the car, right? The ball joint pressed into the spindle, this little groove does not protrude past the spindle mounting point for the ball joint, and you can't put a circlip on. This right here is the old ball joint, and what I did was I shaved off this lip right here. In comparison to the same brand new out of the box, you can see that the thickness is about half of the new one. This was just an experiment, but shaving that off about halfway allowed the ball joint to go into the spindle all the way through to allow the groove for the circlip to be exposed to put a circlip on. But my brother doesn't feel safe of this being cut in half, so I've been spending these last couple of days running around trying to find a ball joint that was going to work, that allow us to go all the way through to put a circlip on. This is import direct from O'Reilly's, and we're gonna probably have to return it, but I also bought a different brand that also didn't protrude through all the way. And then I was gonna order Moog because on a YouTube video I saw somebody was using Moog product, and he even linked the Amazon product down below, but I ordered it 4 days, it didn't ship, so I canceled it. And then I went on the second gen CRV on Facebook, and people were saying the Moog actually doesn't go all the way through, and it actually sat more looser in the spindle as far as the diameter goes. So I was like, man, you know, I'm kind of lost. I don't know which ball joint goes all the way through to allow us to run a circlip, although I was told that they are typically just pressed in and there is no circlip, right? Which makes sense because this never had a circlip, never had an issue. It's just that this ball joint is bad. It's why he wants me to change it. So I was like, okay, well, let me keep searching. There was another brand that was like TGR, It started with a T. It was like 3 letters, and that one didn't use a circlip, but a lot of people were using it just to press it, no circlip, and not have an issue. For my brother's peace of mind, he wanted something with the circlip. So I was like, all right, let me search some more. Then I came across another thread on Facebook, second gen CRV group, and there was a guy who ran the 555 ball joint, and he was able to use the circlip. And I watched the video and I was like, okay, well, let me call my local areas. Nobody carried it but Winchester. So I went to Winchester. They had this in stock, and I was like, all right, well, you know what, let's just take mine over there, let's compare it. And sure enough, when I compared it to the 555 ball joint, this one is a little bit taller. So I think this is gonna work. It's gonna allow me to run the circlip on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just press this one on and see if the circlip goes through, and if it does, let's go ahead and reverse the entire suspension process on my brother's CRV. All right, so we have the circlip groove protruding through the spindle, and it looks like we can put on a retaining clip. So that's freaking awesome. This axle's still good, I'm sure. Just needs a new boot and some grease repack. But I am gonna go ahead and grab the bearings, toss this. Wait, this is not supposed to separate, is it? Okay, that looks pretty messed up. Never mind. I need to find the driver's side axle. This one here. Move my drip pan, just in case we leak some transmission fluid. Go ahead and get this axle pulled out. Ooh, look at that beefy 36 mil right there. Oh, we got some leakage. No. Ah, yes sir, let's go. No more leaks. No more leaks.
Yeah, that's the only difference. Yeah. And sometimes
Okay, so I just took my brother's car around the block and his front positive camper settled in. It was kind of like this earlier, but nice and straight now. I did mark the camera bolt before taking it apart, and I realigned it back to where it was supposed to be. So I don't really know how this car drove before, but he did tell me that the car would veer one direction because of that bad ball joint. But we got the ball joints changed out, we got both axles reinstalled, and you know, this thing is ready for our camping trip these next couple of weeks. But yeah, he's gonna take it to work. He's gonna feel it out and see if it made any difference and if it needs to get in alignment. I did drive the car a second ago, and there is a lot of tire noise. So again, I don't know what was the issue before. I don't know if it changes. So he's gonna drive it, he's gonna figure it all out. But that is going to be it for my brother's car, man. I don't think I'm going to squeeze anything else into this video. These last couple of days has just been kind of all over the place because I was working on my uncle's car, been driving Blueberry, just been, you know, trying to stay busy. But mainly my brother's CRV, a couple of days waiting for parts, never showed up, but we were able to get it locally today and get all that situated. So I'm going to wrap up the video right here just so we can be on schedule with some other things coming up this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video a little bit. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you did, and if you guys want to stick around for, I know I've said this like 1,000 times now, but Blueberry is going to dyno in about 3 days. So if you guys want to stick around, man, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, because I got to work on my brother's car next here on the driveway, because we're going to be upgrading the pulley and the supercharger, 3-bar, 4-bar map sensor, and he's going to be going to the dyno too. So if you guys want to stick around for all that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.